The ICP 2025 roadmap by Definity got released just a couple days ago, and today we are doing part 2 of our ICP roadmap 2025, I guess, series now. Part 1 we did yesterday, and enough people on YouTube wanted to see it, and somebody texted me saying they want to see a part 2 as well. So yeah, we're going to hop straight into it. So we're about 10 minutes into the video. Once again, my first part, the first 10 minutes I reacted to yesterday. So if you want to go watch that video, just click on my channel and go watch the video. But yeah, here we go. So this is the ICP Roadmap 2025 Part 2 reaction video.
Different areas where we're working on, and then within these areas define some milestones so that people can actually see what's coming, developers can plan, everybody can get excited about all the cool stuff we're doing there.
Now, I'll quickly recap the themes at a very high level. We had compute platform, decentralized AI, chain fusion, privacy, platform decentralization, identity, digital assets, governance and tokenomics, and developer experience. So those guided, I guess, at a very high level, the direction that we went. But of course, you just mentioned there were individual milestones that featured within those themes. So perhaps for those who are a bit less familiar to what the previous 12 months have looked like, I'd love to just maybe quickly touch on some example milestones from last year. So I don't know if, Sam, maybe you can share what your particular favorite was from the previous year.
One milestone we launched towards the end of last year, and it was all about latency. And latency is how much time it takes from you load or click in your browser to you get the application back or you execute the transaction. And with this milestone, we managed to, in some cases, halve the latency. So now,
yeah, that was probably the best update that happened from Definity. One of the best that happened in 2024 by far, because I'll tell you myself, and I even noticed on KongSwap as well, there was an immediate difference. Like I could 100% tell. I think it was I don't remember the name of the update, but yeah, there was an immediate impact on all the applications in ICP when it comes to speed.
Now it's twice as fast. And such a milestone is an enormous engineering achievement. So in this particular case, it was about 10-person year of work that were necessary to making this happen. And then having the milestone and presenting it and telling a story around it allows you to have more impact, to explain it better to a broader audience, why you do it, what's the achievement. So I think that shows how this format proved to be really impactful.
Yeah, this was a cool milestone. It also allowed Bob.fun to really bloom, right? My favorite milestone is it's actually more than one milestone, but around chain fusion, which on the one hand also it allowed for Odin.fun, right, which is runes on Bitcoin that are transacted or sold on ICP. So you can see how developers actually picked up doing ICP smart contracts that work together with other chains, and it really shows that we're getting tractions. We're doing the things that the community needs and wants.
Yeah, no, that's a good point Jan made, and that's the thing a lot of people want to take a shit on, and I've been saying this for fucking over a year now. You guys can go back and go on my Twitter and look at everything I'm saying. I was very right on this point where a lot of people were very wrong, and I've been right about it for a while. The unfortunate reality of the crypto space is a large part of it when it comes to people actually using dApps is just the casino. And nobody really cares about your opinion around that. That's what people actually want. Odin.fun is essentially pump fun on Bitcoin, and it has a lot of demand, but it's a casino basically. So it's basically a casino on Bitcoin. It's built on ICP, but it's pump fun that's on Bitcoin. And a lot of people have to understand that's what people want. Crypto is a very speculative driven industry. It's driven off of speculation. So is Bitcoin. All of it is. And there is a lot of demand for applications that are basically casino-like. And I would say Odin.fun is probably the most popular, ICP application ever, and it's literally a casino. And I was saying this over a year ago, telling people, hey guys, we need more applications that are actually serving what people in crypto want, which is DeFi casino. That's the truth. If you look at the most, what platform generated the most revenue this cycle was Pump Fund on Solana. They did over $500 million, $500 million. Absolutely absurd. Most popular application by far. And it was literally a casino. So, yeah, and I'm not saying no real stuff can come out of this. And I think there will be a lot of really cool things that come out of this, like RWA. I've been looking into RWA a lot. But I'm saying that the casino is kind of the heart of crypto, the blockchain industry. So that's my point.
So now that we've established the purpose of the roadmap, let's look at some of the key areas or themes in a bit more detail. We'll start with what I'm sure everyone is keen to hear about, decentralized AI.
Sure. We spoke before about AI being able to help you onboard more quickly. So with a few prompts, you create your application, your dApp. So that's built with AI. But there is another angle, and that is sovereign AI. So yes, indeed, we are all super impressed by these LLMs, and it's amazing what they can do, and we want to use them. But at the same time, it's highly intransparent where our data that we feed into these models go, and we also don't know exactly what data was used to train them. And so that's a wonderful play for, again, sovereignty, and it goes back to the vision that Jan explained. How can we now still use these models, but retain as an end user our sovereignty so that we are in control and know where the data goes? And this is what we call sovereign AI, and we have a number of projects and a number of activities around this that you will find on the roadmap.
And sovereignty is really just one aspect of this, right? So there's also the sort of dual aspect, which is the security of AI, because AI is not really code that you can read, which is a bunch of matrices. And so in order to have trustworthy AI, you actually want to do the training with the data on chain, right? And so if you have it as a smart contract, really know, okay, they all went in a secure platform, so you can trust it. I think that's another very important aspect as well.
So then, Sam, you just mentioned there's a number of different components in the new and updated roadmap that touch on this. Can you give us maybe a bird's eye overview of what it is that you're looking to further build out?
So one area is just improving the core protocol. If you run AI models, they need a lot of computational resources, and we're constantly making sure that you can run bigger multiplications of matrices, that you have more memory at your disposal. So there's a whole area of improvements of the core protocol that we work on. Then we now look into how can some of these really heavy compute workloads be offloaded, but still be governed, controlled by the blockchain or by ICP. And here we talk about AI workers. And the third area of interest is agents. So again, if some software does some work on your behalf, such as an agent, again, you want to have the security, you want to have the sovereignty, that you have assurances what this agent does. And that's something we look into, and we will see these agents pop up in places like wallets, for example, Oisi.
Now, we'll get into Oisi and the digital asset landscape in just a second, but Jan, I'd like to invite you to expand a bit on something that we touched on briefly, and that is building with AI. Obviously, a significant portion of the roadmap also touches on improvements and exciting new innovations in that particular area. So maybe you can give us a couple of insights.
It's really great how AI has developed over the past couple of months or the last year, really. As it turns out, actually, ICP is the perfect platform for coding with AI, because on traditional IT systems, you have like a ton of components, a database server here, like a backend, something here, and you have the accounts and logins everywhere. And so that's actually a very complex system that now AI has to master. Whereas on ICP, you just simply build a single smart contract, or maybe two if you want, right? But it's all enough. Like a single smart contract can serve web and can retain data. You don't have to have all this complexity. That actually makes ICP the perfect platform to build with AI.
If you now update your application with a model, you may do that very frequently. And so at the same time, you want to retain your data. That is wonderfully supported by what is called orthogonal persistent, which is another unique selling proposition, basically, of ICP.
Yeah, we really want to tap into that, right? So that now AI allows many more people to code, right? And so we want to use this, and that's our milestone around Caffeine, like a tool for not only for developers, but like for everybody, for Web3, Web2, our parents, our children, to code with AI and actually to easier launch their smart contracts. You just talk to your phone, tell it, I want to have this website that manages my next meeting, or we want to do some bet, or we want to, whatever you want to do, just say it, and like minutes later, you have a URL there you can go with your browser, and boom, you're done.
So I guess that factors into that self-writing internet paradigm that Dom often references. I'd like to zoom in a bit on the developer experience when it comes to building on ICP, and it sounds like Caffeine will be well positioned to significantly help lower those barriers to entry. But that said, what additional tools and steps on the roadmap will help serve a better developer experience?
We're focused now on removing these points of friction, and so we've started a number of
It's kind of
activities.
interesting because I work with a lot of developers in IC, and I've talked to a ton of them, and it's like, kind of split from what I've heard from some people. Some people say there's not much documentation and there's not enough, and it's hard to dev on the IC. And then I hear some other people who say it's super easy to dev on the IC and it's amazing and all this other stuff. And these are coming from, it's not just like, I'm not just talking to like Dfinity employees. I'm talking to like just people out there, and some of them are critical, Dfinity, etc. So I feel like I've had like a pretty honest, a lot of honest conversations about this topic. So it's just something I want to add. I've had like a 50-50 split on just talking to developers on the IC, and like half of them basically think it's the greatest platform to build on when it comes to how easy it is, and the other half are like, it's hard. So I don't know.
With this, there's milestones.
I just want to share that with you all. May or may not mean anything, I don't know.
Here as well. One of them is ICP.Ninja, but that's just like one entry point. There's of course also more professional developers. They wouldn't use a browser-based tool. They have larger system. And also here we have a lot of work that's going on, right?
We have today the tool that's called dFX, that is sort of the command line interface tool. And what maybe is important to first mention is, if you build for ICP, you're not just building a back-end small smart contract. You can actually build a full stack application. And the full stack application contains a front end, so you do front end development, you have a back end that can store gigabytes of data. And so a developer experience needs to cater for all of this. And dFX is designed to do that, but because it does so much, it does build your application, it deploys it, it manages the smart contracts, it manages your identity, it manages the resources, so the cycle. And there's somewhat strange dependencies, or just over time, this became quite a fancy Swiss Army knife. And so now we are thinking about how we can maybe pull this apart and create smaller tools that then are less dependent on each other and more self-explanatory. And this is something we look at the moment, and we think, how can we create the next generation of command line tooling that is, as you mentioned, then for the advanced developer that really wants to be in control of every aspect.
Of course, an additional, let's say, resource that is key for developers is documentation. What, I guess, upgrades or changes can developers expect on that front?
And with that, we are going to end this video. I think we're going to do one more video on the roadmap. We'll see how good this video does. I think I'll do one more. These videos are easy to make and people watch them, so win-win. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, leave a comment. Go follow me on X at @AaronBrumser_. We're going to do one more video tomorrow, be the grand finale. And yeah, if I have time tomorrow, it's possible. I'm going to Florida. But yeah, make sure to go follow me on X at @AaronBrumser_. And yeah, thank you for watching.